The rarest gems are formed over time, under pressure, resilient and destined to shine. Every one of them, one of a kind.
Just been treated to some extraordinary gymnastics.
This is their setting, the time and place to show the world what they're made of and what they want to be. Fearless, flawless,
Yeah, she knows it.
and perfect under pressure.
This is when it really sinks in.
We're still dancing, baby.
This is the NCAA Women's Gymnastics Championships.
You're watching the NCAA Gymnastics Championships on ESPN. Welcome to Dickies Arena in Fort Worth, Texas for the 2023 NCAA Gymnastics Championship. Top 8 qualifying teams are here competing in 2 separate semifinal sessions to qualify to Saturday's championship final. This afternoon we'll see Florida, LSU, California, and Denver at 9 Eastern on ESPN2. We'll see the other 4 teams, Oklahoma, UCLA, Utah, and Kentucky. Just 2 teams from each of those quad meets advance to the championship on Saturday afternoon. Well, hi everybody, I'm Bart Connor along with my fellow Olympic medalist Kathy Johnson-Clark, and we've had another historic season in women's college gymnastics. Let's talk about the University of Denver. They had a record-setting season themselves.
And then they showed in spectacular fashion how to finish out a high-stakes regional final over higher-ranked teams to get here.
Now, the University of Florida, their status seems to depend on the health of Trinity Thomas, one of the greatest gymnasts in the history of college gymnastics. She was injured at the regional, Kathy.
Just 2 rotations into round 1 at regionals. She opened her floor routine in spectacular fashion, prepared to do her high-flying leaps, and suddenly stopped. And what we later learned was a lower leg injury. Everybody held their breath. We're still holding our breath. Learning the status of Trinity, she expects to be in the bar lineup today, and even the vault, which will be their last event of the day.
And all season long, we've documented her career 10. She has 27. The record is 28. She'll have 2 more opportunities to set a new record in the NCAA, perhaps even today. What about the grit and resilience of the LSU Tigers, the snake-bitten team this year?
Well, every team member is the heart and soul of the team, but these 2, Haley Bryant.
Well, Cal's highest finish in history is 7th place, but they're on track to surpass that here and possibly much more, especially because just 2 weeks ago, they got the highest regional final team score across all sites. Head coach Liz Crandall-Howell told me that one of the reasons they're having so much success this year is because they didn't qualify to nationals last season. The team immediately said, what can we do better? And it's that intrinsic drive that I think Cal is going to be making big waves in this first semifinals here today.
All right, just a reminder for everybody who's watching this championship, you can watch every event from every team on ESPN+. You get commentary on each stream. In our in-house gymnastics team, we call them the Stream Team. John Roethlisberger, Kennedy Baker, Ashley Miles-Grigg, and Bridget Sloan will have you covered all day long on ESPN+. There's also a Spanish feed available as well. All right, there is our stream team, and we're looking forward to their commentary today. Some of the most successful gymnasts in the history of U.S. gymnastics. Great to have them on board. Okay, let's take a look at the format for the championship. 4 teams will compete in this quad meet this afternoon. All 4 apparatus will be going simultaneously. 6 gymnasts compete on each apparatus with the best 5 scores out of those 6 count towards the team total. It's a little different here at the NCAA championships in that there are 6 judges. They throw the high and lower scores out, and the 4 scores in the middle are average. So our scores actually go to 1 more decimal place, which will hopefully be the differentiator between the teams that move on and the teams that don't. We have Denver on vault, Florida on bars, LSU on beam, and California on floor in this first rotation. And already a fall for Florida, Sloan Blakely on bars, Kathy.
Oh my gosh. This team is ranked number 2 in the nation on the uneven bars, and they have to open this rotation with a fall. Puts a lot of pressure on the remaining 5 gymnasts. Meanwhile, Elena Arenas for LSU on balance beam. This has been a great event for this very tough LSU team. They have fought through this season through all obstacles, and Elena has become a rock-solid leadoff performer.
About the middle of February, they lost one of their superstar all-arounders, Kaya Johnson, and so they have struggled all season long, but for some reason they just get better and better, Kathy.
Absolutely. The fight and determination of this team is truly remarkable. Sloan Blakely back up on the bars, hitting a great routine, but after the fall, a step on that landing for Elena on beam. Got to see these nerves calm down.
Boy, we saw a lot of nerves in the practice sessions here, Kathy, yesterday, didn't we?
We did, and I really expected them to be gone, and she just simply did not finish that skill completely to get those grips on top of the bar.
Jenny Rowland, the head coach at Florida, hoping that this is the year that they could challenge for a championship. Bella Mabanta from Denver on vault now. She's their second vaulter.
Performing a Yurchenko full 995 start value, a little bit of pike in the air. The judges want to see a completely laid out position in that vault, and of course, the all-important stuck landing.
Mila Brush led off Denver with a 9.85. As we mentioned at the top of the show, Denver coming off a spectacular regional, scoring the top team in the regional that they hosted at home, and there is Melissa Kutcher-Reinhardt, who has been in charge of that program now for 25 years. They're currently ranked 13th in the country. Their best finish ever at the NCAA was 4th back in 2019, and boy, do they have a team that can contend this year. All right, Kathy, you talked about the pressure of team competition. Because Sloan Blakely fell from Florida, remember, 6 athletes compete, you count just the best 5 scores. So as Victoria Wynn gets ready to go now on bars, that changes the dynamic completely. We were all worried about whether the Trinity Thomas would even be in the lineup, but how about this development?
Absolutely. It ups the ante and the pressure, but all of these teams have been stress tested throughout the season to handle this exact situation. This is a reset routine. They just need 5 good counting scores. They're very capable.
Good on Sam Pesci.
Yeah, I'm standing over here by the Florida Corral watching head coach Jenny Rowland, and she walked over to Victoria and just started dancing. Earlier in the season, I know she makes a point to stay as calm as possible so that her team senses her calm energy, especially in these stressful moments.
Victoria Wynn, the junior transfer out of the University of Georgia. Florida, as you mentioned, a very deep team with superstars everywhere, but this year a little more depth than in the past, but it's going to be tested today, isn't it?
Everyone's going to be tested in every single way.
On beam for LSU, and the right screen is Alona Shenikova. So there are 4 events going simultaneously. If you want to watch all 4, launch the ESPN app. You can see every routine of every athlete participating in today's championship.
Beautiful final handstand for Victoria Wynn on bars for Florida. This is a really rock-solid bar routine for Florida, and Alona Shenikova on balance being so confident, so secure. She has improved every single competition in this season. Such a veteran. And peeking at the ground. Just a little balance correction there out of the side aerial. Anytime they break at the hips, it's a more significant deduction. Sets up the dismount. Back handspring, swings through to a gainer full off the side, and a great landing, solid routine. Just that one small balance correction in the middle.
Lindsey Brown, what a story she is in a 6th year for the University of Denver, the graduate student who has recovered from 2 Achilles tendon tears and lots of challenges with this young lady, but she is the model of what a great student athlete is, Kathy.
She is truly at the center of this routine, such the heart of the team, and she has a powerful vault. 1.5 twist here. Spots the landing at the full. Wow! Look at that vault. Now that is the kind of vault that will inject so much energy into her team.
That was fun. The AAI award finalist 2 times. AAI award, of course, is the Heisman Trophy of women's college gymnastics, and boy, did that graduate student drill this one.
Bart, did she turn on that inner gyroscope? She knew right where the floor was, feeling that landing, and boom, no movement. Gets those heels together for the salute. Well done.
One of the super seniors, and Melissa liked what she saw in her 25th year at Denver. Her enthusiasm never wanes. What a fun start for Denver. Back now to the bars. Kayla DiCello, the spectacular freshman who has been a rock in the all-around for Florida this year, Kathy.
Ranked tied for 14th on this event, and she is such an aggressive performer who attacks every single skill, performing to the max. Slight leg separation on that pack salto, but look at these handstand positions. Difficult Van Leeuwen right here, back up to the high bar. Really nursed that final handstand, trying to show it in a vertical position. Sky high, full twisted double back, and a perfect landing. So these release skills, the judges are looking for height above the bar, way up, well over 2 feet above the high bar. And the dismount, look at that. She finishes the skill. She's still level with the high bar.
All right, Owen Field, the assistant coach there, happy with that effort, as is this Florida team that dominated the SEC championships, winning by 0.5 point. Will they have enough to advance to the championship on Saturday? Their depth being tested today. Alexandria Ruiz, the senior from Lake Mary, Florida, will be up on vault for Denver.
She's anchoring a very solid vault rotation so far. The highlight, of course, Lindsey Brown's 9.925. They have 2 other scores in the 9.8s. They lob a big stick here. Almost a little scoop back with those feet and slight pike in that late opposition.
Oh, and a big moment coming up for Florida will be Trinity Thomas. Kathy, we mentioned a couple of weeks ago a lower leg injury. We weren't sure she was going to compete, and all of a sudden, just before today's competition, Jenny Rowland, the head coach, says she's going on bars and probably vault. How about that development?
And keep in mind that this has limited her training, too. It's not just that she wasn't able to compete at regionals, so she has to rely on her basic training that is so solid.
Reigning NCAA all-around champion and champion on this event as well as floor.
She has scored many 10s on this event. She has really great technique, great timing, good form.
Smooth.
Very, very smooth. Effortless. Really shows off that final cast, a handstand.
It
and
will be the dismount.
Double layout, and it's huge and beautiful.
Oh, my!
Wow, what a rock star beast. I'm telling you.
Oh, my goodness. She hasn't done any landings in 2 weeks. And she drills a double layout under enormous pressure.
I can't even imagine the feeling that she had first before she started the routine, and then upon landing, wow. So these transitions is what Trinity Thomas does best. Just effortless swing, great amplitude, technique, and this dismount, just perfection.
Oh my goodness, what a moment for the Florida Gators. Literally an hour ago, we weren't sure she was going to go at all. This is a very emotional weekend for this graduate student. Was her career coming to an end? Well, she's still in there, and so is Florida. What a clutch performance here in the first of 4 rotations, semifinal 1. See the scores in the top, on the bottom right of your screen. Denver 49-225 on vault. Cal is on floor. That event is slower than the others. Vault is already completed, so Cal has 29 points. Florida just behind them. No score of 9.85 or better yet for LSU on the beam, but we're going to wait with Trinity Thomas. 6 judges, they throw the high and the low. All season long, she has been dialed in on this record-setting performance, scoring perfect 10s. As we go to Leanne Wong now, who has also been a superstar all-arounder.
And speaking of 10, she has scored a few herself. And on this event, a shy short of that final handstand, just by a little no. Double layout.
Oh!
Solid and a great landing.
Another 1-2 punch for Florida. Trinity Thomas got a 9.95, and Leanne Wong, as she has done all year long, just a model of consistency.
Absolutely. I mean, she really combines all of the aspects of gymnastics you want to see. The technique, the form, execution.
What a wild first of 4 rotations here in semifinal number 1. Jeremy Miranda, the volunteer assistant coach there on the sidelines, responsible for choreography for this team that has been among the top teams in the country all year long. Last year, they finished .112 away from the championship, and they just lost out to Oklahoma in the final routine of the championship. Everyone came back, and they're hoping that this is the year. And talk about people who have really stepped up under these circumstances. Riley McCusker, let's tell her story, Ken.
Oh, it's been incredible to see her get back to her level of confidence. Her gymnastics has always been beautiful. Just gorgeous gymnastics, beautiful form you're going to see here on the uneven bars. And now the confidence is there. She is ready to go and has performed every single meet, nothing lower than a 9.9.
Leanne Wong's score was a 9.9375. This is the last routine. Remember, they're trying to replace the 9.2375 of Sloan Blakely.
Beautiful amplitude, execution. The form is just spot on. Her ankles and toes are glued together. Nice handstand. Stalled her into a tuck double back with pointed toes and a stuck landing.
How about that first rotation? They started with a fall and ended up with 5 spectacular routines. The Florida Gators has Haley Bryant, who has been a rock star for LSU all year long on the beam now.
So confident, and this confidence is so earned. She works hard every day.
Aya Lozano on floor now for Cal at the same time. They have scores in the high 9.8s, but no 9.9s there yet, and floor is a great event for Cal.
It's a great event. They are beautiful and so unique in their choreography and performance. Watch here on balance beam, the standing front for Haley, very solid. And LSU so far has 2 scores in the 9.8s. They really want to bump up into that 9.9 range on these final 2 beam routines.
2 scores in the 9.7s as well. Of course, it's a lot of pressure starting the meet on beam, but they'll have it out of the way in the first rotation.
What a great routine. as always. Beautiful performance here on floor exercise. She is so lovely, elegant in her dance, and her execution and amplitude on the tumbling just equals it. Such a complete performance. Oh, I love it.
Lovely. Their best finish was 7th back in 2021. They won the regional in spectacular fashion. The University of California at Berkeley. And that Maya Lazan, the sophomore from Kent, Washington, does her part.
And Bart scores all of the counting scores so far in the 9.8, 3.75 to 9.875 range. Look how perfect her form is in that front double full. Very difficult to keep those legs locked together and straight and pointed. Oh, that is just perfection.
Great start for Cal. And by the way, a quick update, Riley McCusker for Florida in that 6th spot on bars, scored a 9.9 to replace that 9.2 3.75. So Florida will come away with a solid score in that first rotation. Everywhere we look, Kathy, we just see world-class gymnastics, and here we go now with Aaliyah Finnegan coming after Haley Bryant, scored a 9.9 3.75.
Leah's really an athlete that can put up a really big number for LSU and replace one of those lower numbers there. Yesterday, she said, even through the chaos and the adversity we've had this year, I really want to stay level-headed and do my best for the team. This is where she can impact them almost the most.
And Sam, she showed her toughness and resilience at regionals. She had a hard day that round 1, but came back so strong on all 4 events.
MJ Frazier ready to begin her floor routine for California on the floor as well.
This is side-by-side greatness. Triple series from Aaliyah Finnegan on beam, and watch the first pass of MJ Frazier. Huge amplitude on this double layout. Oh, and a beautiful position in that ring jump. Solid front aerial on the balance beam. All important leap, so well done. The position in the air, the full split and extension. Finishes for LSU with almost a perfect stick. She held on to it, just a quick salute. Difficult final tumbling pass, a combination front through to a double back. Let's see the landing, gets it.
A perfect 10 for MJ Frazier would move Cal into the lead after the first of 4 rotations.
So, hey, Aaliyah does so much difficulty on beam, including this triple series, 3 back-to-back skills, earns her bonus points, and of course, tries to hold on to that stick. Just a quick salute to the judge.
And great congratulations from Ashley Natt. They call her Bugs. She was one of the great LSU gymnasts of all time, now on their coaching staff. LSU, we've documented their story all year long. What a drama. They built the season around the idea of we climb, and every time they get knocked down, they somehow climb out of that hole even better.
You had said snake bit, and I was like, every time the snake bites, they just get better. Tougher, more resilient, and a team that just can't quit, won't quit.
They just can't seem to get that crown on the right spot or get it off, perhaps. Jay Clark, the head coach at LSU, proud of the grit and resilience of this team as they are getting taped up for the next event for them, where they will move to the floor. Delaney Harkness now from Michigan State, competing here as an individual in addition to the team competition. 4 all-around athletes and 16 individual athletes that were not on qualifying teams are competing here, because at the end of today, they will award NCAA championships in the individual events as well as the all-around.
And she's representing a team that has just garnered so much excitement and enthusiasm around the nation in NCAA gymnastics. They are a team that continues to rise. Delaney opens with a full twisting double back.
Nice.
One of the things that set Michigan State apart, their choreography and presentation on this event has been so entertaining and fun to watch. Really nice amplitude on those leaps. Combination pass to end the routine, front through to a double back here. Almost keeps that front foot down. Just a little bit of slide with that front foot. Well done.
7 times 9-9 or higher this year for Michigan State. It's been so fun to document their progress, Kathy.
Oh, they have just been not just a fun team to watch. The level of gymnastics, it's great for NCAA.
What a great opening rotation here at the semifinal number 1. Sam is with the head coach of the University of Florida, Jenny Rowland, who has the lead.
Yeah, nothing like a little drama in this first rotation. Uncharacteristic mistake from Sloan Blakely. What was going through your head?
What was going through my head, Gators just needed to do what they do in practice. Stay calm, stay cool, collected, and the Gators delivered. You only need 5 scores.
Trinity Thomas hasn't practiced regularly in weeks and hit an outstanding bar routine. How was she able to do it?
You know what? Trusting her training, the months, and weeks that led into these last couple weeks, she did a phenomenal job. Extremely proud. I know this team is super proud.
Thanks, Jenny.
Thank you so much.
All right, remember, just the top 2 of 4 teams will advance to the championship on Saturday afternoon. Right now, that is Florida and California, but this thing is close. Florida has won 3 titles, but not since 2015. They've been close, though. We'll hear from them when we come back to the championship.
Welcome back to Fort Worth for semifinals number 1 here at the NCAA Championships. Florida is in the lead after rotation number 1. Now, Florida is also a team that has 7 athletes that have been on the U.S. senior national team, and 2 of their athletes, Kayla DiCello and Leanne Wong, are currently on the U.S. national team. So they have a stacked roster, but they have not won the NCAA championship title since 2015. Check it out. In 2019, they missed nationals for the first time in 19 years, and then they climbed their way back up to the top, back to 2nd place in 2022. Super senior Trinity Thomas is the defending NCAA all-around champion, but she came back this year for only one reason.
Heartbreak for Florida, one of their best teams in history, but it wasn't enough for the national championship.
The last few years has been a lot of ups and downs. We came out strong this year because of those things.
Start to finish, the Florida Gators unstoppable.
It's definitely been motivating how hard the girls have worked.
All for the Gators. You got this, baby.
But I think the difference between this year is we really are truly all in.
It's not just one person. This team will fight like nothing I've seen before.
I know what this team is capable of. I know what we've put in every single day in the gym, and it would mean the world to me to see us at the top of that podium.
Trinity devastatingly suffered a right lower leg injury during her floor routine in the second round of regionals just 2 weeks ago. She was listed as day-to-day. Of course, we just saw her nail an amazing bar routine, and she was a late-minute add to the vault lineup. So we're hoping to see her there, but this isn't how she wanted to go out. However, she has had an incredible career.
Obviously, this isn't how I wanted things to go, but sometimes things don't go your way, and that's okay. And luckily, I have the best support system, family, friends, teammates, coaches, that have really helped me. So just like fighting through it, regardless of my personal goals, for them, because at the end of the day, like, it's more than gymnastics.
Welcome back to Fort Worth. Just a reminder, you can watch every event from every team on ESPN+. You'll get commentary on each stream from our in-house gymnasts that we call the Stream Team. And look at these folks, man. John Roethlisberger, Kennedy Baker, Ashley Miles-Grigg, and Bridget Sloan, all great champions of their own right. They will have you covered all day long on ESPN+. There's also a Spanish feed available as well. 4 events going simultaneously in this semifinal number 1. Florida, clutch performances on bars in that first rotation after the mistake from Sloan Blakely in the leadoff spot. And guess what? She's leadoff on beam now, Kathy.
And this is an opportunity for Sloan Blakely to demonstrate precisely what team gymnastics is all about. Every teammate has their teammate's back. You're going to make a mistake at some point, and everybody picks up the slack. This is her chance to set the pace on beam for her team.
On the right is Sierra Ballard for LSU. Currently in third, less than 2/10 out of second. Just the top 2 teams qualified to the championship.
Great leadoff floor routine for LSU. Such a performer. Pike down on that double layout. They'll take off a little for the lower chest. Here comes the leap series for Sloan. Really nice extension on those leaps, good amplitude. Dismount. Oh, well done. What a great comeback for Sloan.
Oh, yeah. How about that? And Sierra Ballard, the junior from Mandeville, Louisiana, who is a lightning bolt for this team. She has so much energy, is the perfect person in the leadoff spot for them as well.
She really is. She really puts on a show and sets the tone for floor. Unfortunately, she was a tiny bit short on her tumbling pass, but held onto those landings. Crucial event for Cal here, vault. They need to find more landings, and boy, what a great start. Really good control on that first landing.
And with Maddie Williams after Andy Lee led off Cal with a 9.825, the Cal Bears coming off a record-setting season once again. Do they have enough to make it through to Saturday's final? It's quite possible.
Bart, we've seen it all now. So we've seen stick crowns and stick sticks and stick whatever. I've never seen a stick bear head. Like that was...
I think you and I need to get some kind of thing. What's that going to be?
You go first. Okay.
Okay.
Anyways, Cal is doing what they need to do. They wanted to improve on those vault landings. So far, so good.
Ellie Lazari will be next up for Florida on the beam. The junior out of Wheaton, Illinois. She is simply exquisite on beam.
Yes, this is a team full of great beamers. They're ranked 3rd in the country on this event.
Sloan Blakely's score came in 9.9375. What a start for the Gators, and what a comeback for that young lady.
Ellie opens with a triple series here. Lots of bonus points for connecting these skills. handspring to 2 layouts. Very solid. Ilona Shenikova on floor exercise for LSU opens with a front double twist. Difficult E pass, well done.
Sierra Ballard had a 9.8 in the leadoff spot for LSU. You mentioned an E pass. Skills are ranked A to E based on difficulty levels.
Yes, and we just saw the most difficult level, that E on tumbling. And sorry, I was watching beam right then. She was a little bit short on that front aerial. She covered it well, but a slight balance correction there. And cartwheel to the gainer for, oh, and a step on the landing. So though, a couple little deductions, not big deductions, but enough that they'll want to hopefully drop that score.
LSU ranked 3rd in the nation on floor.
Watch this final pass. It's front handspring. Rudy, 1.5 twist right here to a split jump. A little bit of balance correction in the air with the arms, but she covers it so beautifully. Oh, she came up so big for them at the regionals. Just peaking toward the end of season has been so beneficial to LSU and their climb.
Moments ago on vault for California. Their high score so far over there is Maddie Williams, 9.8625. Nevaeh D'Souza.
Great score so far. And a nice controlled landing on that 1.5 twist, just some leg separation onto the table, but another great vault for Cal.
D'Souza, the senior out of Fairfield, California, has been one of the MVPs for this team throughout her career. Coverage of the NCAA championships continues with our women's gymnastics championships Saturday at 4 Eastern on ABC. For more information, go to ncaa.com, your home for all 90 NCAA championships. Jenny Rowland giving a couple of notes to Kea DiCello. Ellie Lazzari before her, a 9.8125. How often do these the events come down to who can stay on beam, Kathy?
Often, although I will say at regionals, I almost said to myself, gosh, is bars the new beam? Because so many of these teams are so prepared and stress tested for balance beam that I've been impressed with the beam performances under pressure.
Okay, this is an unusual mount, one of my favorite.
Of course it is, and she adds a little turn to it, so it's called a candle. Back dive to the chest stand, really fun mount. Difficult double wolf turn here. Spins around 2 times. Gymnasts have to perform an acrobatic series and a leap series, a dance series. Right here is her leaps, 2 back-to-back. Going to show that full 180-degree split for a special requirement on beam.
Talk about the quality of her gymnastics. All-around bronze medal at the 2021 World Championships.
Oh, and so tough as nails right there. She was just slightly off to the left and didn't even notice how she made that correction.
Had a huge all-around score at the regional final, 39.8, as we go back to vault now.
This is huge. Double twist. Really good control, just a hop back on that landing. So great to see that level of difficulty, though, on vault.
MJ Frazier coming after Maya Lozan had their high score over there, 9.9. So consistent scores for Cal in the second rotation on vault. Lindsey Brown now on bars for Denver.
Opens with the combination Maloney to Pack. Right up, back to the bar with a Van Leeuwen. Oh, just a little sway in her back on that final handstand. She was being aggressive, trying to show it off in that vertical position. Gets the stick, does not move those feet at all.
Denver was in 4th place after the first rotation, but their scores on bars are impressive. Rosie Casali a 9.9, Kylie Rorich a 9.925.
Really, really strong routine. Only saw a couple little form things, but those are tiny little details.
University of Denver, a small private school in Denver, competing against some of the juggernauts in collegiate gymnastics and contending.
Final pass for oh no, missed the timing. She did that earlier in the season and then had it really dialed in all through regionals. Unfortunate break for LSU.
That was Chase Brock. Remember, LSU competing out with a couple of their athletes who were out with injuries, including all-around superstar Kaya Johnson. Leanne Wong will be next up for Florida on beam. Kayla DiCello, 9.925.
Leanne Wong can be so solid and beyond that, so elegant in her presentation and her posture on beam. Beautiful extension on her leaps. Notice how she really opens up the chest and those arms go back on the leaps. Nice touch. Oh, no. Leg up, balance correction. That is a much more sizable deduction. Nice fluidity and connects those that front aerial to the beat jump.
KJ Johnson coming up for LSU on floor. The score in for Chase Brock, only a 9-0. So LSU once again under pressure.
KJ, great story. Back in the lineup now on her second event. She's going to compete on vault and floor. Last minute replacement here.
Yeah, this is a really big routine, like you mentioned, Kathy, for KJ Johnson. First time competing floor since mid-February when her injury, and head coach Jay Clark said she's ready. She warmed up really well, and he's not nervous about putting her in this big situation.
Kathy, you and I were there at LSU when they beat Florida at home. It was a thrilling event. The team was celebrating, and somebody actually stepped on KJ Johnson's foot, broke her foot, which has kept her out of the lineup until now.
Yes, and to see her come back in and step into this lineup just speaks to the resilience of this team.
You can see her limping off a little bit. Incredible grit and resilience for this team all year long. There's Jay Clark, over 30 years coaching, and he said this has been one of his most rewarding seasons ever, facing the adversity and rising above it. Moments ago on bars for Denver.
Jessica Hutchinson, a very good bar swinger, really shows off her height. Oh, leg separation on that pack salto, slight deduction there. But everything else right on top of the bar in that handstand. Let's see if she can get the landing. A gorgeous position in that double layout. Chest nice and high on the landing. Well done.
One of the best events for Denver is bars. They're ranked 7th in the country. Linus Kaveka is their coach there on bars, and he's happy with that.
This is where they started to build momentum at the regionals on the bars before they went to beam. Riley McCusker for Florida on beam, a beautiful beam worker here. Oh, another leg up correction.
Florida does have 4 hit routines. Their high score so far is the leadoff score for Sloan Blakely.
Really fought through that leap series. She was slightly off to her right. Sets up the dismount gainer full. A very solid routine, but little deductions in there. The last 2 Florida routines showed a little bit of nerves and the same type of balance break when that leg comes up and then the chest, or if you bend at the hips, those are the bigger deductions for balance errors on beam.
Florida does have 5 hit routines there, even though the last 2 were a little bit shaky. And this should be a treat. Aaliyah Finnegan for LSU on floor, coming after KJ Johnson's 9875.
This can be huge. Jay Clark made the strategic move to go to 2 pass routines with most of his athletes here on floor. It is the trend right now in floor routines to not take that risk of a 3rd landing, giving away those tenths of a point, and she opened beautifully with a really difficult double Arabian.
With rare exceptions, these teams have been competing week in and week out since early January, and there's a lot of wear and tear, and yet that was amazing.
That was textbook. 2.5 twist punch front, very difficult and so well done.
She herself has been dealing with a sore foot.
So yes, even though going to a 2-pass routine, she did so much difficulty in both passes. Nice extension on the lead.
Oh, nice.
Really well done. I loved the tumbling, the execution and the amplitude. The form was there.
The sophomore from Lee's Summit, Missouri, had a perfect February, scored 4 perfect 10s, one each week in the month of February for LSU, and she has been a rock, considering all the challenges that this team has faced. Peyton Richards now will be the anchor competitor for Florida on beam. Riley McCusker's score is their lowest so far. That's a 9.6125. They need a hit here for a solid beam score in this second rotation.
And Peyton Richards has stepped up this season, has been so instrumental in keeping Florida on track in the absence of Trinity Thomas. She has come up huge. Okay, leg up again on that balance break. Just, that's kind of a nerve mistake. Oh. And held back. Big time nerves right now. When you don't complete that leap in the air, you're holding back.
Peyton Richards, the senior from Mokina, Illinois, trains all by herself because of her class schedule at Florida.
Yeah, she just went into, she's gotten it back on track now, but she kind of went into the danger zone of beam. When you start trying not to make a mistake, you get too careful and you don't fully complete everything. Stayed on the beam, hop on the landing, so they're going to have to count some lower scores than usual on balance beam. That puts them in a little bit of a hole here.
Remember, 6 athletes compete. You count just the best 5 scores.
Haley Bryant with a big front tumbling pass, double front, and just nails the landing.
Boy, she kicked out of that double front coming after Aaliyah Finnegan, had a 9.9625.
And I can assure you, there is no luck about this.
Remember, they're trying to replace the 9.0 from Chase Brock. This is important.
Front layout to a Rudy, another perfect landing. Beautiful amplitude and extension on her leaps. Another strong routine on floor exercise for LSU.
You see that score down in the bottom right? LSU has a 97.8, but they're going to replace the 9.0 with whatever score Haley Bryant gets here, and it should be big.
This pass packs a punch. It is so perfectly executed with great amplitudes, high level of difficulty, and then very clean on this middle tumbling run. That's the fun part of NCAA gymnastics. They all know each other's routines. They all perform them on the side. They're just with each other through and through.
And Jay Clark with a few notes as they get ready to move on to the second half of this competition. In the big picture, all 4 teams are still alive at the halfway point. These teams are close. Remember, just the top 2 will advance from today to Saturday's championship. Right now, Cal with a 98.7875 has the lead by 0.2 over Denver. Florida does not have its final score in yet.
Peyton Harris of Ohio State competing in the all-around here as an individual. What an exciting season Ohio State had, and a great regional competition. There's so much buzz about this team and their performance.
Peyton Harris, the freshman out of Franklin, Wisconsin. Program all-around record score at the regional final of a 39.625. As we go to floor.
Chloe Widner of Stanford, also an all-around individual qualifier here.
Senior from Frisco, Texas, who just announced the other day that she's going to return for 1 more year at Stanford.
Double layout, little short of rotation and a pike down. Opened with the double layout. It's going to come back here with a front through to a double pike. The level of difficulty into, no, an over rotation and out of bounds and the fall. Oh. Beautiful position in those leaps. Excellent flexibility and extension. Oh, what a shame, because the rest of the routine was so well done.
Unfortunate for the young lady from Frisco, Texas, but the good news is she'll be back for 1 more year. Stanford also a team that has been fun to follow their progress this year, Kat.
They came so close at regional, and we remembered the previous year how spectacular they were in the regional. So this is a team that is going to build itself back up.
They replaced 15 of 24 routines from the previous year and still were a contender, very close to making here as a full team. All right, boy, now we can catch our breath a little bit. We're at the halfway point of this competition. Cal has the lead. Denver was good on bars.
Denver just plugging along, doing what they need. Spectacular dismount by Kylie Rorich.
9.9125 for her.
And Aaliyah Finnegan, just spectacular on the floor exercise for LSU. And of course, Haley Bryant sticking every single tumbling pass.
And a clutch 9.95 for her to replace the 9.0. So LSU once again taking another snake bite and stepping up. California has the lead, LSU in second. Now Florida, with 2 low beam scores in that team rotation, has dropped from first to fourth. Kathy, all year long we've been talking about parity. There is no team that's an automatic lock to the finals.
No, if we learned anything from regionals, it's buckle up. Anything can happen, and they got to fight from routine 1 to the landing of the final routine.
They had posted a score for Peyton Richards from Florida on beam. It was originally, I believe, a 9.45. It has changed now to a 9.8. 127.5. So Florida drops even farther after that challenging rotation on the beam.
No, that was the drop score, so it wouldn't have changed anymore. So it's the drop score, but they have to count the 9.6125.
Thank you very much. Riley McCusker's 9.6125 will factor into the team score. Thank you.
Peyton Harris, beautiful. Very elegant on those leaps. Love the straight legs and pointed toes. Watch this acrobatic series. Front aerial, and has to connect it right into a back tuck. Just a slight balance check. The dismount's a double twist, one of the harder dismounts to stick. And yet, there it is. Well done. Goes up on her toes to hold on to that landing. Awesome.
Ohio State, another team on the rise. Peyton Harris, just a freshman out of Wisconsin. Sam Pesek is with LSU's Jay Clark that seems to be climbing up rotation by rotation.
Yeah, Jay, you call Haley Bryant and Aaliyah Finnegan the mistake erasers, but they didn't really practice for the last few weeks. How do you think they're doing here today?
This practice is overrated. I don't know. I was a little concerned they hadn't had any reps whatsoever, just trying to save their bodies, and they came in and did a great job. And, you referenced, we called Kaya and Haley the Hammers, and when Tabitha Yem came over to me, she goes, "It's nice having those two at the back end." And I said, yeah, they're the mistake erasers.
Well, KJ Johnson stepped in a big way today, but we saw her limp off the floor. She's slated to do vault. Will we still see her there?
No, I think Bryce will probably go in. I don't know if she really hurt the foot again, but it was on the lead at the end of the routine. The tumbling didn't bother it. We had to make a tough decision there between her and Elena, and we went with KJ, and so her foot's bothering her a little bit. We'll see what that means. The trainer's looking at her, but Bryce has been there and done it all year, so we're confident in her.
Thanks, Jay.
Thank you. Go Tigers.
As we have documented all year long, LSU has struggled with injuries, but that has not kept them down. In fact, they keep improving. We'll hear about the tenacious Tigers when we come back.
Welcome back to semifinal number 1 here in Fort Worth, Texas. California is in the lead here in halftime. Well, LSU has been dealing with injuries all season long. In mid-January, they lost All-American Kaya Johnson, who suffered a season-ending injury. In the same meet, Bryce Wilson went down. A few weeks later, just moments after beating Florida, rising star KJ Johnson was injured celebrating with her team. And lastly, senior Kai Rivers went down with an Achilles tear not too long ago. So to lose one of these athletes would be difficult, but what's impressive to me is that despite all the adversity they faced, they continue to rise in the rankings. KJ Johnson, just in the last rotation, hurt her foot again and will not be competing in vault. So again, they're having someone step up.
Out of my 4 years, this team has definitely faced the most adversity I've ever seen.
Very unfortunate situation for Kaya Johnson and LSU.
So many obstacles this season. It has galvanized this group.
Right when Kaya got hurt at Kentucky, I circled everybody up and was like, it's not over. We're going to fight. We're going to do this for her.
Haley Bryant, just so clutch.
Hands down the best routine that she has done all season long.
Every time something else happened, they just absorbed it and kept rolling. It's been incredibly rewarding to watch how they've responded.
Way to pick it up, way to keep it going.
You have to turn the page and we keep going. We do it for each other and with each other.
Everybody has stepped up. Some people maybe didn't even know that it was in them.
And it's given us that motivation to keep going and keep competing as like a underdog mindset.
I truly believe that we have it in us. I think we've had it in us from day one. It's just a matter of going out there and doing it when it matters.
Well, Haley Bryant has been such a rock for this LSU team, and we see it showing up again here today, which is no surprise. But she couldn't practice all week, like Jay mentioned, because she couldn't raise her arm. They've been managing some shoulder pain all season. Head coach Jay Clark said he wasn't really worried. He said, our team is like Cinderella in a wheelchair. I told them before the meet, you're Cinda-dang-rella, so act like it. And that's really the vibe and the passion with this LSU gymnastics team. Coming up, A team that's been improving is California. They're back for the first time since 2021, and after the break, we're going to hear more about their journey.
I definitely think Cal has something to prove. Our goal at the beginning of the year was to be one of those teams on the floor for the Final Four, and so I think that we've done everything inside and out of the gym that we can, and I think that we have a lot to prove, and I think we're going to.
I think putting up the highest regional score, it's a positive thing in terms of their confidence. You know, the one thing that we wanted to remind them after we celebrated having the great regionals is, you know, okay, now all 8 teams are back to 0.
It's just proof of what we did at regionals that, yeah, people think we're the underdogs or we're underrated, but we're a really good group of girls, and we've been training super, super hard, just like every other great team that's here at this competition. And it's really cool to be able to show everyone what we've been doing and how hard we've been working, and we're just ready to perform.
All right, just a reminder, you can watch every event from every team on ESPN+. You'll get commentary on each stream from our in-house gymnasts that we call the Stream Team. John Roethlisberger, Kennedy Baker, Ashley Miles-Grieg, and Bridget Sloan have you covered all day long on ESPN+.
Elena Arenas with a huge Yurchenko vault. Yurchenko full 995 start value, but that was perfectly executed for LSU.
Victoria win for Florida on floor. Remember, they were first after the first rotation. They have dropped to 4th, but all 4 teams separated by 0.2 of a point.
One of the most lovely routines in college gymnastics is this floor routine. Opens with a difficult front double twist, little bit of leg form. Florida's ranked 2nd in the nation on this event, and they need every single routine to be at its best. Beautiful, very difficult double turn with that leg up. Every landing so important. Eyes on both of these landings. The floor, pass. And this vault 1.5 twist, she drilled it in warm-up, almost got it as perfectly, but check out the distance from the table. That was huge.
Alona Shenikova second up for LSU after Elena Arenas had a 9.825. Florida's assistant coach Adrian Burda has been there 17 years. He was part of their championship teams. Now trying to get them back to the top of that podium. MJ Frazier from California now, after Nevaeh D'Souza led them off with a 9.875 on bars.
Oh, what an opportunity for Cal here on bars. They are spectacular on this event, ranked 4th in the country. Really showing off these handstand positions. The dismount, a double layout. Oh, hop forward and kind of a balance correction.
See John Carney, the coach there, who was for many years at University of Missouri, now in his first year at California, helping him with the bars. Chase Brock on vault.
A Yurchenko 1.5 twist, big step forward, but nice to see her not underdo that vault. They'll have to take that deduction on the landing.
She struggled with a landing on floor, scored only a 9.0. Boy, it's been a hot and cold day for this young lady. Sloan Blakely fell on bars and then rocked a beam routine.
And then at regionals, stepped out of bounds on this pass right here. She needs to keep it under control. Actually back 1.5 to front layout.
Bella Mabanta now for Denver after Lindsey Brown led off the spectacular Denver team with a 9.9125 on beam.
That's huge. Just as huge as those leaps on floor. Well done there. Oh, look how solid that acro series on balance beam. no, and a fall on beam. They were so good on beam at regionals, just so dialed in. That'll put a lot of pressure on the rest of the rotation. Final pass for Sloan Blakely, pike double back. Hops up slightly forward, slight deduction there, very minor, but every single quarter tenth, half tenth is going to matter.
Bella Mabanta had a 9.975 at that regional, 49.625, a superb score for Denver on that beam, but they are now in a little bit of a hole. Currently in third, but all these teams separated by just about 0.2 of a point. Aaliyah Finnegan now on vault after Chase Brock had a 9.85. No scores 9.9 or better yet for LSU on vault.
Difficult vault here, round off entry onto the board and then half twist, front pike. Makes it just fine. That step forward will be a deduction, but they are just making sure that they hit these vaults, get the full execution.
Gabby Perea, the junior from Geneva, Illinois, now for California on the bars. Their high score is D'Souza's 9.875.
Their bar routines are highlighted with just excellent technique. Looked like she was a little short on the handstand on low bar, and that just messes with your timing. So her timing was off on that Van Leeuwen. 0.5 of a point off for the fall. And then we'll see if she repeats that skill. Sometimes the athletes need to repeat a skill to get credit for their start value, to make sure that they have that. If they don't need it, she'll just restart the routine after that skill.
California are leaders coming into this rotation.
Double layout, good landing, but you're starting to feel the pressure just build. And so we're seeing some uncharacteristic mistakes.
You know, it's interesting, there's 8 teams at this championship. 5 of them were not here last year. And so talk about the parity in college gymnastics. Even LSU wasn't here last year, and so there's a lot of pressure. These teams are feeling it just to get here to the national championship.
And yet
is intense.
That's what fueled them to get here, was not just missing it last year. So they have built on that, but it can be a double-edged sword.
Well, we could be ready for a highlight here. Haley Bryant has scored perfection on vault. One of the most spectacular vaults in the world. It's a handspring pike front half. Nobody does it better than this, Kathy.
This is sky high and phenomenal. She was off. Okay, so weirdly, I could see on the pre-flight, that was not her normal pre-flight. She managed to pull that vault like a rabbit out of the hat, but she was piked and stayed piked onto the table, not usually. She still look how high she is. Even being slightly off, that is still a tremendous vault, but it was a little off.
Yeah, head coach Jay Clark told me that she was really having trouble with the block on that vault. Like you mentioned, Kathy, it wasn't normal for her. I think that was a lot better than the ones that I saw yesterday and in the warm-up. But again, she took a hop on that step, and we both know she can do a little bit better than that one, even though it was still incredible.
Weirdly, I saw the one great one she did in warm-ups, and I was like, there it is. Oh, too bad.
But if she'd been struggling with this sore shoulder, that would affect the block on the vault table for sure.
Absolutely.
And you lead.
Look at the beautiful extended hands. Short on that cast. They're just a little tight. This is not normal for Cal on bars, but pulled off a beautiful dismount with a great landing, so they're fighting.
Gabby Perea had just an 8.9.875, so they need 2 more hit routines from Maddie Williams and Ella Cesario to get a great team score in this rotation.
Yeah, Liz Crandall-Howe told me before they went to bars that her goal for them was to not over-try and to trust the bounce of the bar. Of course, Kathy, Bart, you guys know that the equipment on podium is just a little bit different. All the equipment, bars, beam, it's a little bit bouncier, and same with the vault. So they're really trying to adjust here, and that's why we're seeing maybe some of the mistakes in addition to the nerves show up in today's competition.
Sam, I still have a little PTSD from the bounce of the bars on podium, like, and that was how many years ago? So, yeah, it can affect it.
Peyton Richards now for Florida on the floor. Rachel Bauman before her at 9.8375. Their best score so far was the leadoff routine. Victoria wins 9-9.
Peyton Richards here with the double layout. Well done. Final pass, a difficult combination pass. She'll twist both elements. First somersault has a 1.5 twist right here to a front full. So Florida looking normal, back to normal for them. Solid scores so far.
Madeline Williams now on bars. Look at her season average, well over 9.9, coming after Andy Lee scored a 9.9 of her own.
Ranked tied for 8th on this event. They need a big one here, being really aggressive on these handstands. Nice to see. Let's see if she gets the stick on the double layup. Boy, she looked close to that high bar, but no sweat.
So 1 fall, but 4 solid routines. They need 1 more hit to come away from this rotation. Remember, they were the leaders, but all 4 teams separated by just 0.2 of a point coming into this rotation. Now, Denver has struggled on beam. They've had 2 falls, which means they're going to have to count one of those scores. Right now, that 9.0 for Momo Iwai would factor into their team score if everyone scores above that.
Hallie Schlotman here for Denver, trying to get them back on track because every routine matters. A little bit of just holding back a little bit on those leaps, not quite showing that full extension. Understandably, there's some nerves here. Leanne Wong for Florida on floor exercise. Opens with a difficult Arabian double pipe. Beautiful control. Handsman to the gainer full. Good solid routine for Denver. Such an expressive dancer.
Leanne Wong, one of the few athletes in collegiate competition, also managing to compete as a U.S. national team member for spots on the world and Olympic team. Just a sophomore from Kansas.
Little different pass here, back to the half, into a front layout full. Gorgeous control. One of her best of the season, and they need it. So Florida really coming on strong here on floor exercise.
Gives us a good chance to talk about the quality of gymnastics we're seeing. She was a silver medalist at World Championships in 2021. So those of you who are tuning in today, not only is this great collegiate gymnastics, some of these athletes are among the best in the world. Ella Cesario now coming after Maddie Williams had a 9.875. Remember, they need a hit routine to replace that low score from Perea.
Watch how she connects this Jaeger. High and right over the low bar into
Oh my goodness. Oh, shocking.
Oh. Not in a million years would I have predicted this.
Oh, that means Cal will have to count a fall on bars, just as Denver will have to count a fall on beam in this third rotation. Oh, such a shame, because she is spectacular here.
That is a heartbreaker. You are right. She is so spectacular. Just missed her hand as if she didn't see the bar. Oh, it might have been a little bit crooked, and that just gets you a little off kilter to find the bar.
So they will try to regroup and get set for the fourth and final rotation as we go back to floor. Kayla DiCello coming after Leanne Wong had a 9.9625. 3 of the 6 judges for Leanne Wong came in with perfect 10s. In order to score a 10 at these championships, with 6 judges dropping the high and low scores, that means 5 out of 6 judges have to agree that it was a 10.
Front double twist to open the routine. Ooh, little side step. Really showing off that beautiful position in the air on those leaps.
Florida has the team lead. LSU is done with vault, so Florida has a chance to even increase their lead a little bit. So they went from first after the first rotation to fourth, back to first here after the third rotation. That's how close this is.
Final pass and landing. Great control. Boy, what a rotation for Florida on floor exercise.
While Cal and Denver struggled in that rotation, Cal on bars and Denver on beam, both of them having to count a fall.
Now watch this on this front double twist. She was off balance, so that side step will be a deduction. But she got everything back on track here. Nice tight form in that combination pass and good control.
Just a freshman. She has competed in every meet in the all-around, and what a way she has contributed to this team this year. Their quest, of course, a shot at the national championship. There is Trinity Thomas on the left, who stepped up and did a bar routine and drilled that landing. Will she be in the vault in the final rotation? We'll see. Jessica Hudson now for Denver on beam.
Great acro series, front toss to that back handspring step out. Beautiful posture. Look how she stretches through her torso. Whoops, almost a little trip of the feet on that side choreography.
Hutchichin, a third-generation Olympian. Her mother, Silvia Mitova, one of the great gymnasts of all time from Bulgaria, and her grandmother, Maya Mitova, both competed in the Olympics in 1992 and 1972, respectively.
Peyton Harris on floor, competing as an individual as Jessica Hutchinson finishes a really great beam routine for them. Opens with a pike, double back. Oh, almost was able to hold that front foot down in that lunge. If it slides back, it's a slight deduction.
Peyton Harris, really the MVP of this year for Ohio State, which is a program on the rise. Been fun watching them become contenders on the national stage, just short of competing here as a full team.
Front double twist, difficult middle pass to throw that E skill in the middle of the routine.
Just a freshman, but hopefully coming back with a full team next year. Ohio State Buckeyes.
Finishes off with a front, full to front layout and a perfectly stuck and controlled landing. What a nice dancer, beautiful toe point and presentation. Love the choreography, well done.
So great to see these individuals competing here. These athletes are competing for individual titles. They will award an all-around championship as well as individual titles at the end of today's second semifinal. But she is rotating with the Florida Gators, competing here for individual accolades, 4 all-arounders and 16 individual athletes competing, those of whom are not on teams that made it through as a complete team.
Elisa Sharametta for Missouri on balance beam. Missouri, another team. The last 2 years, they have been so much fun to watch build something really special there. Just missed making another trip to nationals here.
And it really was their good work on beam that has helped them all season long.
Extraordinary work on beam. Casey Jo McPherson, their coach. And Shannon Walker, the head coach. They just continue to build that program, and of course, just missing out as a team coming here that is already fueling their fire for next year. Oh, beautiful extension on her leaps. Gorgeous, gorgeous position. Beam is the event where you can just take such glorious pictures. If you're a photographer, there are some beauties in this routine. Dismount, gainer full off the end. One of our favorite Bart Connor.
Love
a lot of fun, it's great. Well done.
So what an eventful rotation here. The third rotation in this semifinal, won Florida, led by Peyton Richards on floor. And Leanne Wong moved from 4th in the team competition all the way back up to 1st place with 1 event to go. So Florida and LSU in charge. Cal and Denver, Counting Falls, have dropped behind, but as we said, anyone can advance. Just the best 2 teams will go on to the championship on Saturday. More about Denver when we come back.
Welcome back to the semifinal number 1 here in Fort Worth, Texas. Florida is still in the lead by 1/10. Of course, Denver made a statement by winning their regional finals, and they did it in true gymnastics fashion by winning the meet on beam. That's really tough to do. Head coach Melissa Kutcher-Reinhardt said it was because of grad student Lindsey Brown to set the tone for the team. She started that event, and it was because of her energy, excitement, and body language that carried through the rest of the team. It's something that they've taken and the momentum they brought into this competition here today.
Regional finals was just such like a whirlwind of emotions from the beginning, but I think it really showed us just what we're capable of as a team.
Kind of build momentum all the way through the competition, and then when it counted, we finished strong on balance beam.
Beautiful, strong beam rotation for Denver. My goodness, couldn't have asked for anything more.
You just know that we all want it so bad, and you could tell it was going to be a good ending.
And they are going to end up as the winners of their own regional.
It's off the team for me. However I can help them and be the best that I can be.
It's hard to find words to describe Lindsey, and she's just been a complete inspiration.
Her drive and her will has gotten us to where we are today.
Lindsay has had a lot of success, but she's had also a lot of injury and personal tragedy throughout her 6 years at Denver. In 2019, she won the individual championship title on floor and helped her team earn their historic 4th place finish. Those championships were actually the last time she saw her mom, who tragically passed away after shortly. Coach Melissa became like a second mom to her, and she relied heavily on this team to carry her through that tough time, which is a big reason why she wanted to come back for her 6th year. She's an athlete you can't help but root for, and this actually might be the last routine of her career, so we hope you enjoy it.
All right, we're getting set for the 4th and final rotation. Here are the scores after the 3rd rotation. Florida was the leader, dropped to 4th, went back to the top by 1/10 of a point. Both Cal and Denver unfortunately had to count falls in that rotation, and so it really is Florida, LSU, Cal, and Denver. Florida and LSU in charge. Just a reminder, you can watch every event from every team on ESPN+. You get commentary from each stream of our in-house gymnasts that we call the Stream Team. John Roethlisberger, Kennedy Baker, Ashley Miles-Grieg, and Bridget Sloan have you covered all day long on ESPN+. Let's go over to Kennedy Baker. Kennedy, great to have you here. You guys look like you're having fun up there. How have you been impressed by your University of Florida Gators? Because that's your home team, girl.
I'm so excited. We're having a blast up here, and they are doing incredible. Can't wait to go with them onto the vault.
All right, well, we appreciate you all being here and expanding our coverage in every way. Florida.
Looking loose.
Looking loose. And Jenny Rowland told us earlier this week, she said, you know, when my team's having fun, they perform the best. So they try to create that atmosphere.
They do, and that's hard to do in an intense meet like this. I don't know about you, but I'm sitting here, I feel like I have whiplash from the lead changes and the ups and downs and twists and turns.
Yeah, Kathy, head coach Jenny Rowland told us that her daughter said her dabbing skills were a little under par, so I've made a special point to look to see if it's improved there. I know she's been practicing. She said anything that brings a little smile and calmness to the team, she's willing to do it.
I thought you were going to say you went and coached her on it to show her the dab. I didn't.
I should.
All right, we are getting set to start the 4th and final rotation. That is Leanne Wong. Now remember, vault is the fastest of the 4 events, so Florida will be done. LSU's on the bars with Alexis Jeffrey.
It's a power event. It's a timing event on vault. This is a hard one. Very complicated half twist on front pike with a half off. Well done. Right down the center too from the table. And Alexis Jeffries for LSU, she has been dynamite for them on this event as the leadoff. Alexis has just been money, time and time again. A little deep in that landing. That was a low squat on the landing, but she held on to it.
Transfer from UCLA. Originally out of Missouri. She has been an important contributor to this team that has faced so much adversity this year and relied on their depth to get to this point. At this point, it looks like Florida and LSU, if things stay the same, will advance to the championship round. But
it
all
over.
Depends on these last few performances. Wow. Peyton Richards, second up on vault for Florida.
She has come up so big for them, especially in the last few meets on this event. This vault has improved every single meet, and she has stuck, I'm talking drilled landings in postseason. So here it comes, 1.5 twist. Almost. almost got the stick, had to step off to the side.
Leanne Wong before her led them off with a 9.8625. So Florida has 2 hit vaults in this 4th and final rotation, and they have the lead. Ashley Cowan now coming after Alexis Jeffrey had a 9.775 for LSU on bars.
Beautiful first handstand into the ray. Nice connection there, going right into the overshoot to the low bar. Beautiful leg form in those handstand positions. Nice straight body, flat back, double layout. Gorgeous shape in the air, that step back, be a slight deduction.
A freshman from Hillsborough, North Carolina. I remember talking to Jay Clark earlier this week. He said, you know, last year our team was afraid to fail. This year they just refused to lose.
Oh, look at the vertical position. Nice flat back, straight body on that handstand. And the dismount, well done on the double layout. Legs glued together throughout.
That's tough to do when you look at it from this angle. Sloan Blakely now for Florida.
She came up short in regionals, not this time. She was making sure she was over-rotating that vault, just get it to her feet. Of course, they'll deduct for lack of control on the landing, but on her feet.
Peyton Richards before her had their second 9.8625 in a row.
Florida's in a situation right now where they can play it a little safe and take that step forward, take that hop, just make sure there's no fall.
Nevaeh De Sousa led them off for Cal, 9.85 on beam. Here's Maddie Williams.
And Cal is spectacular on this event. I so enjoyed watching them train. Beautiful, unique choreography and presentation on beam. They all do something that just makes them special. Front aerial, into the split jump, lovely extension.
Coach Justin Howell was telling us she's our silent ninja. He said she's just like Nevaeh De Sousa, very focused and intense, the sophomore.
When you can combine that ninja mentality with elegance on beam, that's phenomenal. Oh, the little details in this routine, so beautiful. And over on bars.
Corey Tatum, LSU.
They need to keep it going. Nice high release move on the high bar. Good transition to low. Just the dismount here. It's a big one. Full twisting double back. Nice. Great landing. Nice stick.
Corey Tatum, one of those athletes that stepped up when the team was experiencing injuries in February, and she has consistently contributed. All right, now, Trinity Thomas, we weren't sure she was going to compete at all. And she drilled a landing on bars after having suffered an injury 2 weeks ago to her lower leg. She is poised to go on vault, which is an unlikely choice considering she had a lower leg injury.
They left it all up to Trinity. Jenny Rowland said it is, if Trinity says she's good to go, they give her the green light. It's all up to her. And this 1.5 twist has been spectacular in the past. She has scored a 10 on this vault, but her training has been limited. Okay, yeah, she knows. A little bit of scoot back. It was so close, but oh my gosh, I'm going to bring this out again. These are Teflon-coated, diamond-studded beasts because the strength, the courage,
it's unreal, actually.
the
It's
tenacity, and then
mind-boggling.
the brilliance. The combination of these qualities just bring tears to my eyes, actually.
So high.
Oh, look at that. 4.5 feet off the ground. And she usually goes higher. And yet, Trinity doing Trinity things just finds that landing. And all for her team. That's why she came back.
27 perfect 10s in her illustrious career. The record is 28. If Florida advances like it appears that they will, she'll have another chance in the final. to perhaps tie or even set a new record in collegiate competition. It's hard to understate her contributions to this sport. Victoria Wynn is their last vaulter.
Big moment. She's going to throw the 1.5 twist. She's worked all season long for this vault, and there it is.
Wynn coming after the 9-9 comes in for Trinity Thomas, who stepped back just slightly. A 9-9 for Wynn would clinch a spot into Saturday's finals for Florida if that score comes up as we go to Aaliyah Finnegan for LSU on bars.
And she is a flying Finnegan on this event. A gorgeous, very difficult pike delta. See her take a big breath, preparing for this dismount combination. Let's see if she can get the stick. It's a cool one. Arabian double front. And she got the stick. What a finish.
Never count out the LSU Tigers. They had a half-a-point lead over the third-place team. All they have to do is hit bars, and they're going through to the championship.
And the finish to this routine. What an exclamation point. Beautifully done.
Oh, my goodness.
Look at Jay Clark. He is, how proud he has to be of this team.
And Ilona Shenikova, spectacular on this event as well, will be up for LSU next. They have 4 hit routines. They need 5, and they will go on to the championship Saturday afternoon. Jessica Hutchinson on floor, and Kathy, I know this is one of your favorites.
This is a fun moment for me. I called her mother's routine to this music. She decided to bring her mother's routine back, the music, the pieces of the choreography, to pay homage to her beautiful mother. She was a gorgeous gymnast.
Sylvia Mitova, her mother. Shenikova on bars. Finnegan had a 9.925.
Big moment here, a high-flying double layout.
There is Dee Dee Bro, 43 years, the leader of the program at LSU. Several-time SEC champions, and now their #1 fan.
What's really interesting is Jessica has a very different style than her mother Sylvia Mitova, and yet made this choreography and music all her own. But I recognize all the pieces that she kept in the routine. It's weird, I know what's coming. That's kind of fun. Love it. Good for her.
A legacy routine in tribute to her Olympian mother and grandmother. Florida has clinched a spot. They have a score of 197.4, which means they'll earn one of the 2 spots into Saturday's championship final. A 9.8375 for Ilona Shenikova from LSU would clinch a spot for the LSU Tigers. Even before Haley Bryant goes, a 9.8375. If that comes in, LSU is in. If not, it's going to come down to Haley Bryant. 9.8625 for Shenikova. LSU will advance.
So we can just enjoy this magnificent routine by Haley Bryant. Just right out on the edges of her fingertips on that high bar release move.
But Jay Clark said she's been dealing with shoulder soreness, has not done a lot of reps.
But her training and her preparation all season long for this moment, she can just dial it in like no other. What a moment for these two.
Oh my. The team will live to go on another day.
Check this release move out. I mean, she just does not play it safe.
And Lindsey Brown, 6th year graduate student for Denver, one of the great college gymnasts of all time. This will be her final performance as a collegiate gymnastics. This is a treat.
Soak it in. Watching this performance, so easy to forget how hard gymnastics is and what she has done. 1.5 twists through the 1.5 twist punch front to come back twice from Achilles tears, and just with a smile on her face and joy in her heart. Oh.
What a beautiful moment for the graduate student from Kansas City. What a way to cap off an incredible career.
Ugh, that's a gift to all of us.
2 torn Achilles. She lost her mother, and yet with grace and elegance completes.
Oh, Bart, the power, the grace, the heart. She just put it all out there on the floor exercise for everyone to take in this moment.
The former NCAA floor champion going out in classy style. One of my favorite things that John Roethlisberger, our colleague, said about her is he said, that's the kind of young lady I want my daughter to be like.
Hear, hear.
Great representative of the sport, and she has been essential to Denver's surge as a contender in NCAA competition, a small private school contending with the big ones. She is their final competitor. Denver has elected only to compete 5. Gabby Perea, you see her beam average over 9.925 this year. Really impressive scores there. Maya Lozan had a 9.9375.
Their entire beam lineup is just so beautiful, so well prepared. Under pressure, they just shine. Double wolf. Acro series here, front toss to a back tuck, has to connect it. Oh! Little adjustment with that front foot. It'll be interesting to see if the judges give her that connection. She kept the arms moving nicely, kept the movement continued. Watch this dismount. This is extraordinary. So creative. Side summing to 1.5 twists. That is wickedly hard and wickedly cool.
And Cal, the regional champs, with a score over 198, the only team in the regionals to score over 198. They even bested Florida on that day. But today, it's not going to be enough because the Florida Gators and LSU Tigers will advance to the championship Saturday afternoon, along with 2 other teams that will be determined this evening. I mentioned that there are individual accolades that are in contention here as well. Haley Bryant with a outstanding 39.6875 is the leader in the all-around after semifinal 1. Individual titles will be determined at the end of semifinal 2 today, but you see her outstanding scores. And it wasn't even her best day.
No, it wasn't, but this is one of the hardest working, well-prepared gymnasts in the country. So nice to see her put it together, even though, yes, we have seen her do some of these routines better, really just the vault, everything else. So well-deserved, good for her.
Haley Bryant, the junior from North Carolina, will lead the LSU Tigers for one more competition. We followed their story.
Who would have thunk?
Who would have thunk? We saw, okay, Kaya Johnson's out, KJ Johnson's out. What are they going to do?
As Jay said to me one time, he goes, I'm out of bodies. Well, no, you are not. They are going to piece them together in whatever fashion they can and with all heart.
Talk about all heart. Trinity Thomas, we did not know if she was going to compete at all. As of yesterday, she wasn't even in the lineup.
And yet, like the stellar gymnast and human she is, just pulled out a blockbuster of a bar routine. And then this vault, I think that was most impressive. Yeah, did she scoot back a little bit? Yeah, but as I said, it's so easy to forget how hard gymnastics is when she makes it look easy in this situation. Crazy. Gabby Stevens from Michigan State.
Competing as an individual here, the sophomore from Elgin, Illinois.
Watch the amplitude she shows off in this routine. Front aerial to 2 feet, difficult acro skill, and she really elevates off the beam. In both the acrobatics and in the dance elements. Her leaps are sky high.
Her 9.95 at the NCAA second round performance on the beam qualified her here to compete as an individual.
Comes back here with a back handspring, layout, step out. Ooh, good amplitude, but gave up that balance break. Turning to the side. Look at the jumps. She's a little bit more cautious on those jumps than usual. And again, the height on this dismount's a double twist. Let's see if she can get the stick here. Nice height, little hop back, but solid routine, good for her.
Michigan State, another one of those up-and-coming teams. Kathy, it's been so exciting to see this year, that there are so many teams that have a legitimate chance now. It was several years ago, there was really 4 or 5 that were going to, shuffle the deck, and one of those were going to win, but not anymore, is it?
No, I have loved every story we have told about NCAA gymnastics. Michigan State, a big part of that, too.
We climb was the message for LSU, and they keep climbing. They'll move on to the championship, and Florida wins it today. Jenny Rowland, their competitor, is happy for their fellow SEC team to go on to the championship. Well, how about this? The semifinal number 1 is complete, and LSU, with a huge rotation in the 4th rotation, surged to 1st. And so LSU and Florida will advance. California and Denver, their seasons are over. And 2 more will be determined tonight among Oklahoma, UCLA, Utah, and Kentucky for the final 2 spots into the championship. Boy, there were a lot of clutch performances today and a lot of gutsy performances. None more than Trinity Thomas from Florida to help her team secure a spot into the final. Sam is with her now.
Thanks, Bart. Yeah, Trinity, congratulations on a phenomenal competition. You did 2 events here today after suffering a lower leg injury at regionals. You didn't practice at all the last 2 weeks. We heard the decision was yours. So what helped you make that decision to do 2 events today?
Yes, so, I mean, I've been working so hard to get as much treatment and physical therapy in as we can, and with the doctors, my trainers, like I couldn't do without them, with my team and my coaches, and they told me like, we've got your back, and they mean the world to me, and I'm so happy to have people in my corner like that. And so when I came here for practice day, I swung some bars, did dismounts for the first time, and then I was trying to run down the vault runway. We weren't sure, and they were just like, don't feel like you have to do anything, just let us know what you want, what you need, and we're there.
I know this isn't how you wanted to finish your career individually, but you came back for this 5th year for your team. So what does the team need to do for you guys to take the title on Saturday?
Yes, I did come back for this team, and we are so special, and I hope you can feel that even from the outside. We honestly need to just go out there on Saturday and be us, simply be us. And every single person on my team knows they play an important role, competing, not competing, and we all come together to be one great team, and I can't wait to step out here again on the floor one final time with this Gators team because they mean the world to me.
Quickly, I gotta know, are we gonna see more events from you on Saturday?
I honestly don't know at this point in time. So, but I'll keep you updated.
All right, thanks, Trinity. Congrats.
Thank you.
Everywhere we turn, there are more and more heroic performances, and we got more gymnastics coming up later tonight. Florida and LSU advance from semifinal 1. We'll come back to wrap this one up in a minute. Tomorrow night on ESPN and the app, the NBA play-in tournament rolls on, and we'll have the Western Conference 8th place game between the Thunder and the Timberwolves. Coverage of this one begins at 9:30 Eastern. The winner gets to play the Nuggets in the first round. Okay, the bracket is set from semifinal number 1. Florida places their name into the championship round. Peyton Richards gets the honor for the Gators. And Kaya Johnson gets the honors for LSU. They're still dancing. And one of the superstars all year long has been The Rock, Haley Bryant, for LSU. Sam is with her now.
Yeah, Haley, the story for LSU is the Cinderella story. You've dealt with so much adversity. Was there a point in this season that you didn't think that you'd be qualifying to the NCAA finals?
I definitely don't think so. I think this team has so much capability, and there's everybody on this team's here for a reason. Even if we lost some of our stars, I think we all came together and we're like, we're going to do this for everybody that can't contribute right now, and that's just what we've been doing, and we're still climbing and going to the Final Four, baby.
You've been managing a shoulder injury and didn't practice much the last 2 weeks. How were you able to perform so well tonight?
I think it's just going back to my training, doing what I do every single day in the gym, even though I haven't had too many numbers, just muscle memory at this point, turn my mind off and do what I do every single day.
You're currently ranked first in the all-around. What does that mean to you?
It's absolutely an honor. I'm doing it for each and every one of those girls over there. I just want to contribute my best gymnastics to them and give everything for LSU.
Thanks, Haley.
Thank you.
Congratulations to the LSU Tigers. They will be in the championship as well. And get this, they qualified here on a tiebreaker, just edging out Michigan at the regional competition, and they're going all the way to the final. So LSU and Florida advance to Saturday's championship round. Coming up next, it's player 54. Then at 9 Eastern, we'll be back here in Fort Worth for semifinal number 2. For Kathy Johnson-Clark and Sam Pescick and all these remarkable gymnasts from around the country, what a day of gymnastics, and we're not done, because later on tonight, semifinal number 2, you're going to want to stick around for that one. So long for now.